That is a beauty. Now that's it, that area that we were talking about this morning. Steyn needs something to feed off here. He needs to get those eyes spinning, which we know can happen when he's feeling good.
Now, this was a peach and more evidence of the ball carrying through nicely. Pitches and shapes away.
I would still love to see it a bit fuller, just a fraction fuller. And again, I would love to see one less fielder on the onside.
Certainly not India, when he had that little horror stretch, which put him on the sidelines for a while.
He was discussing how it's been a bit of a roller coaster ride for him. He was in the squad, he would have been excited about being back in the test squad. Then he picked up the injury.
I mean, they must have really battled to front up for the next test after, I guess, test number 3 or test number 2 even.
Yeah, it would have been hard going, there's no doubt about that, especially those back-to-back test matches. I mean, as commentators, we often talk about how difficult it is when you're playing the Boxing Day and in the
Steyn asks from around the wicket. The angles are difficult, and Alim Dar, who said no so many times to the South Africans, says no again. There's a review in the bank, and they're not going to review this one either.
They would love to get rid of Mitchell Johnson. He scores quickly, but I think they can see that this is probably heading down the leg side. Perhaps hit him in line, but the ball still has a bit more distance to travel, and the angle of delivery, it would have taken the ball down the leg side, I think. Look where he's bowling that from. It's pretty wide. Impact is in line. Well, it says hitting. Interesting. Yeah, well, Hawkeye is suggesting that the ball would have hit leg stump.
We're going by as much as 15 centimetres by the time they went past the stumps. And up and down as much as 25 centimetres by the time went past the stumps. So there's an area which Peter Siddle and also Mitchell Johnson are going to have a look at now, which is about 6.5 metres from the base of the stump. It's about on the 5th stump line when you're bowling from the commentary box end, which is the end that Steyn is bowling from now. Good stuff from Steyn, picked up a wicket and just 2 runs conceded. 391 for 8th for the second test. It's got to be so frustrating for a captain, and I'm afraid Graham Smith has suffered from that for a long time. In your day, Sean, I guess what did you used to just use the seamers? You didn't really get too many spinners employed, did you?
Is that leg too, please?
We didn't use the spinners all that often. I think for us, the one period that we did have was Paul Adams, where he had a little bit of mystery to his bowling, and that was an exciting period to be part of South African cricket, because you know, he had a few people confused at the crease when he came on to bowl. Can remember the English in '95, the different deliveries where he could spin it away and turn it back in. Good shot by Lyon, straight down the ground. Maybe a bit too straight and too full from Dale Steyn. It's a wonderful shot by the number 11.
Mornay stays on his feet.
The cricketers out there didn't agree with that, though.
And he's got plenty of that too. Quickly into position. It'll be worth a couple. And probably sprint back for a third, and does. These are infuriating times for a bowling side who desperately want to finish the innings off and can't. 372 for 7.
Pretty high up on the bat. That's why I didn't really get full control of that shot. But the bats these days, you don't really have to be hitting them in the middle for the ball to be travelling a fair distance.
In the chairs for a day and a half waiting to get an opportunity to bowl. So it is hard, and then sometimes you think, okay, well, I've done my job. The batsmen get out for 50 and you're back in the field.
Prime example of that, HD, was when we were in Australia for Supersport with that series. Fuff was magnificent, and Siddle wasn't fit for the last test in Perth.
The trainers we used to spend a lot of time pre-season and make sure that we would set a nice.
Whoa. Dale Steyn getting it up there, saying, come on, drive me. And Mitchell Johnson's doing just that. He cannot resist, and he throws everything at it.
That he wouldn't get an extended run on the Australian side. How would you go as a vegan, HD?
I've got to be honest, I'd probably struggle a little bit. I've never been the best when it comes to my vegetables, my greens.